having Jad as a mentor on your side is almost like having a person that will look at all your mistakes, tell you how to fix it, and he'll make sure that you don't make the same mistake again. And you don't even have to give it a year. Just within like weeks, you'll just see the difference. I can't get this from a professor. I can't get this from some random dude. Like Jad would just spit gems during the calls. Jad's literally gonna tell you like, hey, this is how to go about it. And trust me, like he just knows things. Like it's just like on a different level.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another interview series where I'm interviewing my past and present clients and sharing their success stories with you. Today, we have my dear friend, and I also feel like he's become like my little brother, Alejandro, with us. Hello, Alejandro.
Hey guys, hey Jad, how you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Looking forward to get into your story. So before we talk to Alejandro, I'll give you kind of a little summary of what to expect today. So we're going to talk about his before and after journey. When he came to me, he was completely kind of clueless with women. He had low confidence. He was very self-conscious. He was, yeah, like he would go on a date with a girl and then didn't even know how to like hold her hand or go for the first kiss, right? So really basic. We started really basic, right? Fast forward now, he has a girlfriend. He's built a lifestyle and social circle where you always see him surrounded by tons of women on his Instagram stories, on his Facebook stories, surrounded with women in the workplace, surrounded by women in his social circle, has a girlfriend. So he turned it completely around. So if you're someone who, is living in scarcity with women, feels like, oh, I'm too insecure, women don't like me, always get stuck in the friend zone. I think that's another thing that we
Yeah,
worked on with you, right?
yeah,
He turned
definitely.
all that around. And now in the workplace, even a lot of times, because I keep in contact with my students, even when the coaching is done. And he's always updating me like, oh, yeah, the women at work are, looking at me in a type of way, or they prefer talking to me over other guys. And that's because of all the things we learned, the swagger, the confidence, the mindset, the game, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the journey we're going to unpack. Some more interesting things. Alejandro's a very interesting character. He's from the Bronx, and he was involved in gangs, and so he took himself out of gangs, even though the influence was really strong, the pressure was really strong. They tried to keep pulling him back. He got out of that eventually. He started going to church, and church became a big part of his life too. And so this is a man who had a dream and who was not in an ideal circumstance or environment. And even some people that were very close to him were pulling him in the wrong direction. But he was strong enough to say, no, this doesn't feel right to me. I want to choose the path of integrity, of being a real man, and getting this woman thing handled, getting my confidence handled, loving myself, being able to look myself in the mirror and being that 10.0 man that I know I can be. So it's a very inspiring story. So that's kind of, the introduction to Alejandro. Super honored to have you here, bro. And today, guys, this isn't only going to be like a testimonial. It's going to be like a podcast. When we warm Alejandro up a bit, he's going to start preaching to you. He has a lot of wisdom to share. So let me start you off, Alejandro, now at the end, kind of like we're going to talk about the before, but let's just talk about the after now. How does it feel now that you have a girlfriend? You told me, a few weeks ago, she's treating you really well. She's super into you. And you've built like this social circle where you're literally surrounded by a lot of women, a lot of people. And even let's tell the audience, like Alejandro got home at 5 a.m. and now we're starting this
Yeah,
interview at 8 a.m. So he even like, and that's because he was out with his girlfriend and a bunch of friends. Then things got crazy. The night went long, but he still showed up today. So on 3 hours of sleep, fresh. But that's kind of the lifestyle. Like he's living the lifestyle a lot of you guys want. So how does it feel? How do you feel right now, having kind of gotten to the after portion of your journey?
yeah. First off, I just want to say It's an honor to do this interview with Jack. Um, I've came such a long way, and yes, everything is true. I am from the Bronx. I'm currently 27 years old. Graduated recently, just last year, around June, and I graduated with my master's in Hunter College. So I've known Jap now for, I feel like it's been roughly around maybe give or take seven, 7 to like 10 years around there. So it's been a long journey, and he's seen me grow definitely for sure. Yeah. So last night I was in a party with my girlfriend, and she invited her friends, and I invited some of my friends, and yeah, like it's in the city, so there's a lot of things to do in New York, so you never get bored. So yeah, I am on 3 hours of sleep, but I just had to do this podcast, and I was like, yeah, I gotta like show up. And I mean, I'm excited, like, just excited to share my testimonial with and my transformation.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, one thing we talk about a lot is how you now that you're on the other side, so to speak, how you see like what mistakes you see other guys making, or what do other guys not understand that you now understand. So, can you just kind of riff on that a bit?
Yeah, for sure. I guess the number one mistake that I've seen a lot, and countless of men, from my personal opinion, I would say that men do not know who they are, and they don't know what they want, and they're scared to go after what they want. I remember when I first started this journey, I was in college, and the number one thing I really wanted was to just be in a relationship. Um, I was really, nervous, and just I didn't know how to go about girls, and also like sometimes you don't have like an older brother. Me, I'm the oldest out of my siblings. I have a younger brother. So you don't have someone to like let you know how to go about things, how to go about relationships, or the dating aspect of, dating a female. And from my experience, like it was like almost like I was blinded. And then when I met Jad, I realized like the most important thing was just knowing who you are as a man, knowing what you want out of life, and not being scared to go after it. And it sounds simple, but those three things were like the three things that guys usually struggle with the most. They don't know who they are. And when they don't know who they are, you could just tell right off the bat, like they're not grounded, they're not centered. The energy comes across differently, and the person that knows who he is, he's just grounded, he's centered. Everything that comes out of him will come out of a different feeling, a different energy. And females could just sense that thing, and not just females, but just people in general.
And so, yeah, that's super powerful. So, let's say some guys are watching this and maybe they've spent their lives kind of being people pleasers, afraid of criticism. Maybe they don't want to, maybe their family is putting pressure on them to be a certain way, but that's not their truth. So, let's say I'm a guy who doesn't know who I am, and I'm asking you, hey, Alejandro, like, okay, you're telling me like know who you are, like, well, how do I do that? Where do I start?
Wow, that's a deep question because I feel like I've struggled with that my whole life. Um, for instance, knowing who you are, it encapsulates a lot of things. It's a lot of different factors, such as you gotta know what you want out of life. Um, and for me, knowing who you are is like having a almost like a plan. Like if you want to be a doctor, this is just an example. If you want to be a doctor, and somehow along the journey you just decided to quit on it, and you decided to become a teacher instead, then deep inside, like you're gonna feel like inauthentic. You're gonna feel like this is not what I want out of life. And knowing who you are is just going after your goals. If I could just break it down to one simple sentence, is just going after your goals and just not being scared to just conquer it. And this goes a long way in dating. It just goes into relationships, and it just leaks into every aspect of your life, because people are just gonna sense it when you're like killing it in real life. They're gonna sense it when you're going after your goals, when you're not letting no one stop you, and when you're kind of like killing every obstacle in your way. So in my experience, my goal was to graduate, was to, you know, just, just become a therapist, and just, and mental health, and, make it out the Bronx. And, for a long time, I was scared, I was insecure, because, you know, usually, men, we suffer in silence, and we don't have that one older brother, or that sometimes we don't have a father figure, and, we don't have that fire to like drive us, someone to tell us, hey, go after it, don't give up. And that's kind of what I did, through Jad. I was able to go after what I wanted, even though I was scared, I was still pushing it. And, when I talk to females and just people, they could just sense that energy. They're like, this is a guy that is grounded, he's centered, he's unshakable. Yes, he has flaws, but he's going for it. And people could just sense it right off your energy. So when you talk and there's two people in the room, um, no two people are gonna give the same vibe, if I could put it that way. And people want to be attracted to a good vibe, like a good energy. And usually it comes from that that core energy of knowing who you are.
Nice. Let me one thing I remember is like one thing we worked on with Alejandro is like not apologizing for who you are. And one thing that I work with a lot of my clients with is you know, we all have insecurities. I'm too quiet, I'm too shy, I'm too short, I'm too this, I'm too that, right? And there are some things we can fix and some things we can't fix. Like for example, if you're generally introverted and quiet, that's not changing, right? And Alejandro was more like introverted, more chill. You can feel his energy, right? Super chill
Yeah.
guy, super cool. But so what I worked on with him, and I'm like, dude, instead of trying to change that, lean into that. You're a smooth motherfucker. You're mysterious. You're deep because you're introverted. Because you're chill. You got that special swagger. You got that smoothness, and then that translates into like that sexual energy. That's why the women at work, they're like, oh, okay, this guy's different, right? He hits different. He hits women different when he talks to them because he's dialed in. You can feel it in his voice, right? So we took something that he used to be insecure about and we said, no, this is a strength if you lean into it, right? So he's not trying to be the life of the party, center of the party, extrovert, talkative guy. We found out who he is and we say, okay, be okay with that. Don't be apologetic for that. And then just show up like that. And some girls are going to be like, damn, that's exactly the kind of guy I like. So you reminded me of that as you were speaking. I wish in the introduction I remembered the fact that you graduated university because that's like it's like a big part as well. Um, so I want to know like uh, one thing that I don't I want to always discourage guys is like everyone makes an excuse for why they don't have what they want with women or in other areas, right? And their excuses are almost like too easy, right? So um why why when the people around you were saying no, stay in the gang, or no, we're in the Bronx, or like there was influence around you telling you like pulling you in the opposite direction, and so you had to be kind of have a strong enough backbone enough to say no to all of that and follow your own heart and your own intuition versus um, what people were saying. And I think that's a big part also of knowing who you are is, guys, don't listen too much to the external voices around you. Listen to the internal voice, and then you will know your truth. And then I think, like, is that what it was, Alejandro? Is like you just always heard your inner voice was always louder than all these outer voices, or how did you kind of overcome that your situation, your circumstance, and the negative people?
Yeah. Um, I think the number one thing that helped me out was having a plan and the journaling. I remember before I met Jad, I didn't used to journal, and now I journal constantly. And just having a plan just made that voice that I had inside louder. I did had a voice inside me like a fire, but once I started journaling, it's kind of like it amplified it more and it made it bigger. So it made me want to push through more. And I guess I just want to piggyback a bit on what you said. Something about just being who you are is also being transparent. And I remember that I was always shy. I still am. I still am shy. But now I'm more blunt about it. Like, how could I put it? For instance, in college, I wasn't always the life of the party. Sometimes I'll be the quiet guy. And sometimes I'll just be straight up just two girls, just two guys. I'll be like, hey, I'm kind of shy right now. So if you see me acting shy, it's just because, I'm this kind of guy. And they'll just be super happy that I'll be transparent. I remember one instance even I was doing this theater thing. Well, it was this required course in college and I had to take this theater class and I was just transparent about it. When I was about to do this little theater play, I was really nervous, really shy. Eventually, what I ended up saying before I started acting out the scenario, I told the whole class, "Hey, I'm shy. I hate public speaking." And everybody started laughing, and it was so funny because now the professor I had her on my side, and she was like, "Hey, everyone, let's give Alejandro a hand." And it just went smooth after that. It's almost like it eases everything, like it makes everything so much smoother. And nowadays, like sometimes when you're talking to someone, or it doesn't have to be a female, just anyone, they're gonna be, "Hey, what is this awkward energy that I feel?" But if you come off straight off the bat telling them, "Hey, I'm a bit shy, and if you see me acting awkward, it's because of this," then it just kills the mysteriousness. Like it kills off that weird awkwardness that people might have. They're like, okay, so now I understand. Like he's a bit awkward, quote unquote, but it's because he's shy, and that actually makes the flow go better. The conversation goes a lot more cleaner. So that's something that I wanted to just point out right there. Just being yourself is also just being transparent.
Yeah, 100%. So that's another like thing, that's another kind of like framework that we learned in the coaching, right? Is like instead of spending years trying to get over your shyness, just tell people up front, hey man, I'm shy. So if you feel some awkward energy from me, that's what it is. And then people are like, oh, okay, cool. And then,
Yeah.
you fast forward, it's, then you just fast forward your progress with women and socially. I also remember now that on Instagram, I saw that you actually gave a speech at your university graduation as well.
Oh yes, I did.
And you
And
opened with, in front of the huge audience, you're like, hey guys, I'm kind of nervous, but I'm going to try my best. Something like that, right?
I did actually. I gave the whole speech in front of my whole college, and what's amazing about it is that I actually still use to this day that same technique, if I could call it that. It's really just, I would call it a technique for lack of a better word, but it's something that I learned from Jad that has taken me a long way. Like, I'm usually right. right there and then I'm super upfront when I gave the speech. I just told everyone, hey, I'm really nervous, and that really helped me out, and it set the mood for the whole speech. And
You killed it.
actually, like, yeah, everybody started clapping, and till this day, like, I have people telling me about the speech. They're like, hey, like, you were the best presenter right there, and I
Bro,
was
you were
like, wow,
smooth.
thank you, thank you, Jad. Like, yo, I was super nervous, thousands of people.
I bet.
Yeah, but yeah, nah, it went smooth, and it's funny that that little technique that you showed me, that simple technique, it seems so simple, yet so many people don't do it. And it's just being transparent, and it just makes you flow better. I don't know what is it about it, but it makes everything go cleaner.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, it's this. What I'm like, this is something I discovered, this technique or whatever you want to call it. And by the way, guys, it's like in detail in my book, Seduce with Integrity, if you want to like really, really go deep with that. But yeah, I learned it in because in high school, what would happen with me is I would, of course, I was super quiet, super shy. So I'd gather the courage to walk up to some girls. And then I'd walk up to them and, everyone would be like, hey, hi, blah, blah. I know we're talking. And then after like a minute or two, then they'd go like, oh, I think he's shy. Are you shy? And then they'd nudge each other. Oh, I think he's shy. And then two, are you shy? And then all of a sudden you have like four girls. Oh, are you shy? Why are you shy? Don't be shy. And I'm like, oh my God. Right. I'm like so embarrassed. And then of course, like as a young teenager, I took that to mean you're weak, right? Like, of course you misinterpret it. So finally I got sick of that happening all the time. So I just started going up to girls and like right when I'd meet them, I'd be like, hey, by the way, I'm a bit shy, I'm a bit quiet. So like if I'm a bit quiet, don't mind me. That's just the way I am. And then they'd just look at me and be like, oh, okay. And then maybe sometimes they'd be like, oh yeah, he's just shy. He's just quiet. That's the way he is. And then they'd leave me alone and then I could like chill with them and connect with them, but without having that whole thing happen. So yeah, but it's like when you're no longer afraid that the fundamental thing is this. We think if women are going to find out XYZ weakness about me, they're going to reject me, they're going to run for the hills. And what I teach my students is no, you're wrong. Try it. Tell girls, hey, I'm shy, and watch them stay. Tell girls, hey, I was a bit intimidated to come talk to you, but you're so cute, I had to come say hi. And watch her smile and stay. So, yeah, that's just one thing we learn in the coaching is to just, it's kind of like a radical acceptance and understanding that getting good with women isn't about fixing yourself as much as it's about surrendering to the man you are. And when you're okay with who you are, you will be delighted to discover that the girls are also really okay with who you are. And then that's like Alejandro discovered that over and over and over and over. And every additional girl that was accepting of him gave him more confidence. And now he has a girlfriend and he's still shy. Guess what, guys? Even Jat T. Jones sometimes is shy. Like some things are just going to be the way, like they're just going to be in us because of stuff that happened to us when we were like 5 years old or younger. And it's in our subconscious mind. And even though logically we don't know why it's there, it's there. So we don't need to waste 10 years when we can just be like, hey, there's this imperfection about me, but hey, these are my strengths. Do you want to play with me? And a lot of girls say, yeah, right? Yeah, Alejandro, the smooth, cool, very good at connecting, bit of bad boy. Throw up your hand. Show us some tats, like from your days. You got like tats all down his. I don't know if you do you mind showing? I don't want to put you on the
That's
spot. Look at that.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah. So this guy, he's a cool motherfucker too, right? Like, don't worry, guys. You don't have to go get tats. But what I'm saying is like, he had those tats before, but he was like, I'm not enough. I'm not cool enough. I'm too shy. These three weaknesses are making me unlovable. And we went through the process where now Alejandro is telling you guys, hey, know who you are. Be okay with who you are. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to kind of riff off of that?
Um, I think you hit the nail on the head. I feel like everything you said is 100% right
Cool.
on point, Dad. And
So let me ask you this. Talk to the guys a bit about And just let me set this up a bit. So, talk to the guys a bit about approaching girls, going after the girl you actually like, talking to the girl you like, even if you feel awkward, nervous, not ready. And also the fact that a lot of guys are trying to get girls from online dating, and online dating just straight up doesn't work to get like quality hot women in 2025. Like it's almost, I'm not going to say it doesn't work, but it rarely works. So your chances, guys, are to go out and meet girls in person, talk to girls in person, maybe build social circle. So kind of share your story from anywhere you want to go, like from being too shy to talk to girls to like maybe some little stories. Doesn't have to be like a big deal, like I talked to this girl and then I took her home. Like, no, it could just be like, hey, I was nervous, but then I made this little move and that little move. Like, how should guys start getting over their fear of socializing with attractive women?
Yeah, definitely. And this is a fun question to answer because I could say a lot of things on this question.
Yeah, go crazy.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to start it, but I guess I'll start with the dating aspect, and the dating apps and stuff. Um, Something I really want to like make clear is that it doesn't matter like how many apps you download. It doesn't matter how many pictures you got online, or how much you're paying for your subscriptions, or how cool the pictures come out. Um, I think all of that could just go down the drain if you don't have the lifestyle. Something I learned through Jad was that we have to have a lifestyle to back it up. And what I mean is that you can't just be some random guy in a random city with no cool, fun lifestyle. You need to have some sort of lifestyle that's just gonna like attract women. And what I see a lot of men do is just they just chase after them. And I used to be one of them. Um, what I mean by lifestyle, I mean like you have to like have fun. You have to like have that fun energy. And what I mean is that how do you expect to have a relationship with a female and be around girls all the time if your lifestyle is just boring, is monotone, and sorry, there's a car right here outside the window, but
It's not too loud. It's fine.
all right. So something that really changed my life around was when I started joining dance classes, and that's something that made a big impact in my life. So if I wouldn't have never met Jad, I would have never known how powerful this dance lifestyle culture would have been. I actually the only reason I got into dance was because of Jad. When I met him, he told me, you got to create a lifestyle. Maybe join like this dance classes and go to like dancing social gatherings. And I'm actually still doing it till this day. It took me a while to realize it, but dancing is like one of those powerful, powerful tools that a lot of men have at their disposal that you could just, sign up for salsa, cumbia, or whatever type of dance you wanna learn. And then you're gonna meet girls, you're gonna meet guys, and then eventually like, you break the touch barrier, you start dancing with them. It's easier to start a conversation. It's more natural. You don't give off like that creepy, awkward energy where some guys would just beat around the bush and they're trying to figure out what to say. So it just makes everything go smoother. Um, Another thing about lifestyle, I meant like also like working out, having a fit body, just dressing well, also like picking out your clothes. I didn't realize how much that mattered, but like hygiene, the type of clothes you wear. Is it too loose? Is it Does it go well with your sneakers? Little things like that that guys usually don't realize sometimes that girls would take 2 hours. sometimes 3 hours to get ready before a date. But yet guys will put so little effort to their outside appearance, which I'm not saying that is all that matters, but it does play a big role in how you dress, how you carry yourself, are you working out? Are you involved in something extracurricular? Like, do you have passion? Do you have hobbies? When a girl goes into your life, you want to take her for the ride. You don't want to you don't want to make her your end all be all. Like, you don't want to put her in a pedestal. Um, and you can't really fake this. I know a lot of guys will fake it through, trying to act nonchalant and act aloof. But when she starts going to like multiple dates with you, like on the third date, fourth date, she's gonna figure you out eventually. You can't fake the energy. That's something that you just cannot fake, and the energy is gonna come across as authentic and powerful and genuine when you have the lifestyle to back it up. So that's something I really want to point out to guys, that you gotta have a fun, attractive lifestyle to the point where, like, when you meet girls, you're 100% so confident that even if you don't get that girl, you know that you're still having the most fun time out of your life. That you're like, I want her, but I don't need her. So a lot of guys, they have it the wrong way, where they think they need her, and it shows up in their energy. So that's something I really wanted to point out. Just, how does your lifestyle look behind doors? That's something I worked on a lot, from my morning routine to the social circles that I get involved in. What do I do on Saturdays? What do I do when I'm not working? Am I still having fun without her, or am I not having fun without her? And I feel like talk a lot more about it, but let me know if you want to ask
Let
us.
me no, there's a lot of good points here, and I'm like making notes of like different areas we can expand on. I want you to go a bit like more specific now. Like, tell us a time where you were like scared to talk to a certain girl, and you went and talked to her. Just anything that just like goes in your mind. Doesn't have to. It could be any now, 5 years ago, maybe not 5 years ago, but like just give guys kind of like a glimpse of like when you started overcoming that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's a lot of instances where I was scared, I was nervous, but then somehow, like, once you get good at game, and once you just have it, you just start realizing, like it's gonna go smooth regardless. Um, I'm currently in a relationship right now with my girlfriend, and I guess the best example I could give off was, I met my girl through dance school. Actually, we both started off in dance school. That's how I met her. And I just kind of just stated the obvious. Hey, I think you look attractive, and I think you look cool. You're fun to talk to, and we were just kind of just clicking off right off the bat. Um, I did made it clear though that like, I'm out there dancing, I'm out there, going out every day. Um, I was scared to go up to her because I was like, what am I gonna say to her? Like, she's dropped down gorgeous. What if I stumble in my words? What if I say something that might offend her? What if I run out of things to say? And I realized that I was like, wow, I'm overthinking it. But then I remember something that me and Jack talked about a long time ago when I first started. He said, make fun for yourself first and mirror your energy. So that's something big that helped me out, where I was like, okay, how can I make this fun for myself and not make it fun for her, which is a big difference, where you have to make it fun for yourself first to the point where, like, it's authentic. And then the girl's like, okay, like, he's playful. He's not too serious. He's not taking the interaction serious. So I could, like, loosen up and I could be myself. So I remember when I first started talking to my now girlfriend, I would make her playful. Um, sometimes she'll poke fun at me. I'll tease her, treating her like if she was my 10-year-old sister. Like, this tip really helped me out a lot. Whenever you get the chance, try to tease the girl and just pretend like she's your like 10-year-old sister, and you wouldn't take a 10-year-old serious. So why would you take this female right in front of you, even though she's 20 something, 30, 40, you don't take the interaction serious. Just pretend she's a 10-year-old girl, just poke fun at her, tease her. And that's kind of what I did. I was just nervous, but I straight up just went up to her and just told her like, hey, you're drop down gorgeous, and you want to go dancing, and we just started dancing, and eventually like we clicked, and yeah, I mean there were other instances where I would run out of things to say, and I'll even point that out too. I'll be like, hey, I don't know what to say right now. It's just you're making me nervous, and then she'll just laugh, and just things like that. Like you just be authentic, you keep it real, and she just follows your energy.
Excellent, excellent. I'm such a proud coach. You're like such a good student. Guys, like there's a lot of fundamental like things that are in Seduce with Integrity and also like in my coaching. And Alejandro's just like going through them. It's like, pa, pa, pa. That's what makes him a good student. And now, I would say a pro seducer is because he's got the fundamentals down. Is like, I'm so, I'm like sitting here proud on the sidelines. So great job, bro. Yeah, yeah, you broke it down. Perfect. Okay, awesome. I'm sure everyone's really enjoying. Okay, I want to point out something Alejandro was saying before about lifestyle, fashion, the details, going out a lot. One thing I want to highlight about all of that that I think probably went over a lot of guys' heads is hard work. Every seducer is a hard worker. One pattern, I always look at patterns of like the masses, the guys who are succeeding versus the great majority that fail. I think like 5% succeed and 95% fail or stay like very average. That's like my kind of estimation. And that's because most men are lazy. They try a bit, it didn't work. Let's blame women. Women are this, women are that, right? Me, every pro seducer, Alejandro, every one of my students who's successful are hard workers. Okay, let me break it down for you guys. As Alejandro, as an example, okay, worked with me as a coach, went and built a social life, spent time on his fashion, graduated, got out of a gang, found time also for church. We didn't mention the boxing. He also does boxing. Okay,
Yeah,
this guy is always working. He's always working. And a lot of guys, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. Bullshit, right? A committed man gets shit done, period. So one thing that I think most of you who are listening up till now have not really clicked in your head is like, oh, this is like real. I got to really get serious and put in the work. That's where so many people fall short. They're like, this doesn't work or this doesn't. You didn't put in the work. You didn't put in the time. You didn't put in the reps. You didn't talk to enough women. You think Alejandro only talked to this one girl that he liked and then that she liked him back? Or had he been talking and practicing and socializing, building until, so basically, he was preparing for his opportunity for years until the opportunity presented itself, and then he was ready for that opportunity. And that's why it clicked so, quote unquote, easily. Okay? The overnight success you see guys have is because they've been preparing for their opportunity until the day came when they were ready, and then they walked up. So, yes, Alejandro was nervous, scared, whatever, like we all are when you see a girl you like, you're gonna feel fear. That's like part of the equation, right? But the question is, what have you been doing 6 months, 12 months before you step up and say, hey, I think you're cute?
yeah, 100%. Um, well, you mentioned a lot of good things, and something about putting in the work. I do want to follow up a bit on that. You gotta talk to a lot of girls. I mean, like talk to everyone. That's something that Jad really emphasizes in the calls that I used to have with him. He'll be emphasizing on the fact that you gotta just talk to everyone. The lady on the cashier and the retail store, the grandma that needs help with, maybe pushing a cart, a grocery cart, or just maybe your aunt. She needs help, finding a book or a present for her son. So just talk to everyone. Don't just be straight out, just like
Like
a
a
one
pickup
track
guy.
mind. Yeah, basically. Like, don't just talk to the quote unquote hot girls. Like, it doesn't work like that. Women could just sense when you're inauthentic. Like, they could sense when you're like, okay, he talks to everyone. He doesn't just talk to that, this specific group. No, he talks to everyone. So that makes socializing easier, and it just comes across as more clean. And I could give a brief example. Like, I remember when I first started, I used to think that, wow, like, how am I gonna get nice at this game? How am I gonna, get good at girls if, like, if I'm nervous already, talking to a 10, what you consider a 10. Um, and I remember that Jad on one instance in a call, he pointed out the obvious, like, hey, you gotta talk to everyone, not just, the hot girl. So, it makes it easier. Like, when you compliment everyone and you're just generally authentic about it, be like, hey, I like that shirt. Or I like the color of your nails. Um, or I like your jacket, or I like your boots, your sneakers. When you just compliment everyone, guys and women in general, when you come across that girl that you really, really, really find attractive, and you're like, wow, like, she's so beautiful, and you just go up to her and you be like, hey, I really, really like those sneakers that you have, or I really, really like that dress, or I like the design on your nails. How'd you get that? Or where'd you went? And it's just gonna come across like natural. It's not gonna come across as you're trying too hard because you're doing it every single day of the week, and it's just something about it. It just comes out more powerful since so you're so used to like giving compliments. It's easier, but it's gonna be harder if you don't do that on a regular basis and you just stick to like the hot girls and you only practice on them. So that's something that I really want to emphasize to guys in general. Just give everyone a compliment. Sometimes just put a smile on their faces. It doesn't matter if you get nothing back in return. At the end of the day, this is gonna help you. This is gonna help them. It's gonna help you in your relationships. It's gonna help you in business and everything. It's just you're gonna be that cool guy that just talks to everyone.
That's fire, bro. That's fire. You're you're on fire. You're making me proud. Awesome, bro. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's so much to unpack. I want to quickly comment. One thing that I'm proud about my coaching is that it not only helps you with women, but it also helps you in the boardroom. It helps you in business because in business you're gonna get ahead if you can make public speeches, if you can command the whole room, talk to the whole room, if you can walk in with that different kind of swagger. And so, a man who's good with women, automatically he's gonna be confident in the workplace and you're just going to make more money, get more promotions. And so that's just kind of like a side benefit to this. Um, so I want to, I want to ask you, Alejandro, so let me just t- uh, reference my story a bit and then kind of throw the question to you. So when I was struggling with this woman thing, I felt like I was in an invisible prison where the girls were literally right there. Like I could reach out and touch them. And the girls even kind of like liked me when I was younger, right? They thought I was cute, whatever. But I was so insecure that I couldn't talk to them. And then that went on for years. And so I felt like I was in a prison where the thing I wanted most was girls, but I just couldn't break through this invisible barrier. So I felt like I was in literally like in prison for so long. And then finally, I became free. I mastered the game. I got to the other side. I became one with beautiful women. So my question to you is, um, how does it feel to be free? How does it feel to now be on the other side when before you're like, I'm not sure I'm even gonna make it to the other side?
Wow, there's another fun question to answer. Definitely, like, it almost feels like you have a unfair advantage, like a superpower. like you could see other people what they're doing wrong. Like you wouldn't believe how many like chances like that I've missed because I didn't knew the stuff that I know now. But now that I know the stuff that I wish I would have known like years ago, it's almost like I know what to do, I know what to say. It's almost like you have like this second instinct, like this like almost like you had a superpower,
It's like Neo in the Matrix. You see the code.
yeah, basically 100%. And like even like I have like a little cousin, he's younger than me. He just started college, but he will even go up to me and ask me for advice. And I remember at times, like, I would just break it down to him to like the nitty gritty, be like, hey, man, you're doing this wrong. You gotta, fix your fashion up. You gotta go back to like, working out. Oh, okay, she said this, then say this. And it's almost like, wow, like, he'll be like, how do you know this? Like, what do you know? How do you know what to say? And now he's in a relationship as well. So it's funny how it works. It's almost like you have like an unfair advantages. And like for instance, sometimes like me and my girl will be at coffee shops or we'll be going out on a date and we will look at like couples or dates, like when like in Starbucks, and you could tell like the guy's trying to hit on this girl, but in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, wow, like he's doing it wrong. Like sometimes like you could just hear the interactions, like you'll be like, wow, he's so serious. Like I remember on one instance, like I had just got off the boxing gym and I was going home and there was this one dude talking to this really drop down gorgeous girl and I was on the train and I could hear him, talk to this girl because they were right next to me and you could sense that he was trying to like attract this girl, but he was talking about business the whole time, about finances and the graphs and everything. And I'm thinking like, no way. He was way too serious, and you could tell the girl liked him because it was like right in front of me, and I'm over here like like grabbing the pole and just like leaning back in the train and just kind of just like just chilling and I'm just hearing him and for some reason I felt like grabbing him and be like, hey man, like you gotta throw in a joke, tease her a little bit or be playful. And you could tell like midway through the interaction, like this girl, she just starts like to daze off and eventually you could tell that she just gets like turned off. You're like, wow, like, why is he so serious? Like at the end of the day, like girls, they just want to have a good time. And this guy just kept the whole interaction serious, strictly about work. And I was like, wow, like he missed like a good 7 opportunities to tease her. And back in the day, I would have missed those opportunities. And nowadays, like when I have an opportunity to tease a girl, I'll like straight up just go for it. Just be like, hey, like, like every time you laugh, you remind me of my little sister or like, and she'll be like, what do you mean, my little sister? And I'll be like, you just got that funny laugh. And then, she start giggling and, like this guy will like miss so many opportunities. I wish I could just like, just tell him, hey, you
Save
doing,
him.
yeah. So something people don't realize is um the dating game is really just like an energy game. It's really about your energy and it's a lot about having fun, just making it fun for yourself. Women are gonna mirror that energy right back at you. And it's little simple things like that that people don't take into account. Like don't be overly serious. Like, the girl's gonna be thinking like, is this his first time on a date? Why is he so serious? Um, if you're playful, you come across as more confident because she's gonna be like, hey, like this guy must have a lot of dates. He must have a lot of women in his life. He's so nonchalant. He's so laid back and cool. This must be like second nature to him. He must be going out a lot. Does he have a lot of options? Is he always around women? Why isn't he nervous? So women, you know, they start, imagining things and basically like to sum it all up, like this guy left the train, and you could just tell that wow, like the girl, like midway through the interaction, she just lost all interest, and she just like started giving him like 2 word answers, and I was like, wow, like he just blew it. But yeah, it's like a superpower now. You could just see what's going on, and be like, wow, like you could do this better. You shouldn't have said this. You could have done this better. And I was like, wow, like that was me like 10 years ago.
That's amazing. Thank you. Amazing breakdown and amazing story. Yeah, like one thing I hear a lot from clients who come to me, they say one of their biggest regrets is all the opportunities that they've missed because they didn't have the game. They didn't understand the game, and sometimes even they had their dream girl right in the palm of their hands, but they messed it up. She slipped through their fingers, and there's a huge cost, guys, to not having this part of your life handled. So I want to talk about money for a second, which is a sensitive topic to a lot of people. So Alejandro, you spent a good amount of money. You invested some money into coaching with me, right, in order to get this woman thing handled. So, do you stay up at night regretting that you spent that money? Do you miss that money, or do you feel like it was a good return on your investment?
Definitely, I definitely do not regret it. Like, if I could go back in time, I would definitely do it all over again, and I do not regret it. And as a matter of fact, like, I would recommend Jad to anyone, and not just for like females, just in general, just to become a better version of yourself, and just it's not just gonna help you in dating. It's gonna help you in everything. Like for instance, if you got a school project, if you got a business project to run, whatever the case may be, game takes you so long. Like having a mouthpiece, just being good with your mouth, just saying what to say, just being transparent, just being grounded and centered, and this kind of stuff you can't learn it in college. You can't learn it from a professor. Um, you're not gonna learn it from your older brother if he doesn't have game. If he's stuck as well, like where are you gonna learn it from? Like, um, I used to look at a lot of red pill videos on YouTube, but it it doesn't work like that. And I guess the if I could put it this way, having Jad as a mentor on your side is almost like having a person that will look at all your mistakes, tell you how to fix it, and he'll make sure that you don't make the same mistake again. And you don't even have to give it a year. Just within like weeks, you'll just see the difference. It'll be like, okay, like Alejandro, like, you're being too nice. Um, I remember like even like for the kiss, like I would wait for like the end of the day to like go for the kiss. And Jack would be like, hey man, like you could have gone for it in the middle of the date. And at the end of the day, like girls are gonna talk with their female friends. So which one sounds cooler? Oh, he went for the kiss in the middle of the date, or he went for it at the end. So little things like that, like Jack will fix me up, and I'll be like, wow, like I can't get this from a professor, or I can't get this from some random dude. Like it's just like Jack would just spit gems during the calls. So yes, I don't see it as money wasted down the drain. It helps me out in my relationship today as well. Like even if you're already in a relationship, Jad's literally gonna tell you like, hey, this is how to go about it, and trust me, like he just knows things. Like it's just like on a different level.
Cool, cool. Thank you. Yeah, guys. So if you want to save time, there's a link below this video if you want to schedule a free call with me to see if coaching is right for you. If you're sick of wasting time, if you're sick of settling for women that you're not that attracted to, you're ready to date the women you truly want, then that's what my coaching is specialized on. To get this thing handled once and for all and to be free from the prison once and for all, which to me, the way I see it, why did I master the game? I mastered the game because I looked out in the future to my old, like 80-year-old self sitting on a rocking chair and imagined seeing like drop dead sexy women like just walking in front of me. And I didn't want to be that old man being like, oh, I had one shot and I missed it. And now I wish I could go back in time. And even if I get rejected, I would go after those girls. Because that's what a lot of old men, they're doing. And when you're too old, you're too old. It's done. It's over. So, money comes and goes. For me, I always threw money at my problems, always hired mentors, because you can't get time back, right? You can get money back, but you can't get your time back. Alejandro now has outgamed most of you guys, and he's only 27, you said, now?
Yeah, 27.
He's only 27, and he's talking like so much mad game. I'm like sitting here like a proud father. I'm so proud, bro. You're hitting so many fundamentals. It's like, you talking mad game here, son. So, right? And so he already invested the money already a few years ago. Already his life is amazing. And this is carried over to his career, to his education, everything. And like, so a lot of you guys were like, oh, the money, the money, the money. You're focused on the wrong thing. What about the life, the time? What if you cross paths and the universe presents you the opportunity with your dream girl 1 month from now? Are you going to be ready? Is it worth losing that opportunity because you saved the equivalent money that would have just bought you a new iPhone? Stupid in my books. All right, guys. So for anyone who's serious, check out the link below this video. And I want to close with this, Alejandro. One thing that I've been obsessed with throughout my coaching career is not just the game, but what are the patterns of successful men? Successful men, success leaves clues. Successful men all do the same things, right? You guys know I'm a big fan of the book Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich is not only about how to get rich with money, it's how to get rich in any area of your life. It breaks down the fundamentals of success. One of the principles, there are 13 principles. One of the principles in Think and Grow Rich is the mastermind principle. So the author of Think and Grow Rich didn't just write a book out of his head. He went through a 25-year research project where he had access to 500 of the richest men in America. And he spent 25 years studying 500 of the most successful men in America. And after 25 years studying 500 of the most successful motherfuckers, he said this: in all my research in the past 25 years, I have not found one man who found success alone. And then he said, success depends on the mastermind principle. Masterminding is when two or more people work in complete harmony towards a specific goal. So you're watching Alejandro, someone who obeyed the principles of success. Most of you are watching right now, you've gone at it alone, lone wolf, videos, PDFs, that kind of stuff. That's why you're still single. Alejandro said, oh, the mastermind principle. Nobody did it alone. I'm not going to be the unique snowflake who does it alone either. Let me hire a mentor. He hired a mentor. Now he has the result. He's got mad game. He's got a beautiful girlfriend. Alejandro is not better than you. He's not superior to you. I'm not better than you. I'm not superior to you. But we did one smart move that you didn't do. We hired mentors. We invested money in mentors, and that's why we broke out of the prison. To break out of the prison, there is a price, my friend. There is a price. That's another thing Napoleon Hill teaches in the book. Decide what you want, but then decide what price you're willing to pay in exchange for what you want. When I wanted my freedom, and I tried to do it alone, and I couldn't, I went and I started paying thousands and thousands of dollars to different mentors until I became free. Alejandro did the same thing. So once again, Alejandro, after that, I want to ask you, like, was it worth your freedom? How, and what that's going to translate into for the next 10 years of your life?
Oh, definitely. Definitely it was worth my freedom. I think I got more than I bargained for, and the mastermind principle is so strong that even till this day, like, I still keep in touch with some of the friends that I've met years ago. So that's something that I want to point out too, that the mastermind principle is not just what you think it is, like just a group of men just in a cult. Like you actually become good friends with some of these people. Like you become long lasting friends. I could say to this day that some of the friends that I've met 7 years on some of these calls, I still keep in touch with them. And I've actually met them in person. Some of them, I met them in person and they're from different states. So we actually met up, we actually ate dinner too. We still mastermind. We still jump on calls some of these days. And, it's different now. Like you have one person that, could tell you your blind spots, could, write down your superpowers or could just tell you, hey man, you're getting off track, like somebody to keep you accountable. There's times where like I feel like wow, like I feel super down today. And sometimes you just want another dude, another person to just hear you out and just get it off your chest. And sometimes I'll jump in a call with one of my friends that I've met through the mastermind principle and they'll be like, hey, tell me what's going on, how's everything? How's your week been going? Are you still going to dance class, or just catch up on little things and just having that, that one guy right there that, and knowing that you can always reach out to him. I feel like it's something that you can't really put a price to. You can't really put a price to it because it's just something that's invaluable that every guy needs a group. I don't feel that you could lone wolf this shit. It's just too hard, Men already got too many problems on their shoulders. We gotta work, we gotta be sometimes the providers. Sometimes you're just going through a lot and you just need someone you can lean on. So definitely, yeah, I will always say this, like I will always do it again if I could go back in time.
Yeah, yeah, nice. Yeah, guys, like speaking of superpowers, um masterminding is like the way to get your superpower. So if you're feeling powerless in this area of your life and you're like, why or how do I get out of this? The answer is mastermind. Period. We are powerful because we mastermind with other men. And I like to make a distinction. There's a distinction I've made, I've invented. It's called mastermind up. So sometimes when I say mastermind, then guys are like, oh, well, okay, I could mastermind with Jad, who's a professional at this, or, oh, but there's my buddy Jim from down the street. He's struggling with girls too. I'll just mastermind with him for free. No, 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 no. When you mastermind horizontally or down, you're not going to get where we're talking about. You need to mastermind up. You need to find someone who's already accomplished the thing you want to accomplish and you mastermind with them. That's why you're masterminding with mentors, not your buddy Jim from across the street. So one distinction I want to make, Alejandro, is like when Alejandro says he's been masterminding with some other guys, those were guys that were part of my group program. So they've all masterminded up and now they're masterminding with each other. So that's okay. But don't just skip me or you don't have to hire me. Hire a mentor. Don't skip the mentor and then mastermind with your buddy Jim from across the street. That's not masterminding. Okay. All right. So I think we'll wrap it up at that. So thank you so much, Alejandro. You delivered as I knew you would. Spitting fire, hitting the nail on the head, hitting them with some beautiful fundamentals. Guys, if you want to be like Alejandro, there's a link below. Schedule a free call with me. We'll discuss if coaching is right for you. I'm here to help you attract the women you truly want. If you're a guy who just wants power and choice to date, beautiful women and then ultimately choose out of those beautiful women, the women you want to make your future girlfriend or wife, that's what I specialize in. So you can hit the link below. And I don't know, do you have a final word or piece of advice to end the call with?
Yeah, actually, like I want to say thanks to Jad. And I want to be 100% honest. Like I told Jad this many times. I wouldn't be the guy I am today if it wasn't for his calls. Um, it's true. I was very insecure. I was in a dark place. when I was younger when I met Jad. And sometimes you're going through life and it's almost like you're going through it without like a map. And having Jad is like having a map. And I honestly say that 100% like all my success is because I've actually applied the principles that Jad taught me. I wouldn't have the girl that I have today if I would have never taken this course. I actually would have never joined dance class if I would have never got in a call with Jad. That's something I 100% am sure of it. Like I never thought in the back of my head, like, wow, like I want to go out and just dance. Like that thought never came through. It wasn't until I took his course and I got in the call with Jad. I was like, yo, I gotta try this out. Like I gotta like change up my lifestyle. Like one time for the one time, let me just try it out. But yeah, I'm super grateful to everything, Jad, just the advice, just the book and everything. And thank you for having me here. Just thank you for being the person you are.
Thanks, brother. Same right back at you. You're an inspiration to everyone as well. And I'm super proud of everything you've done. And I'm sure that people found a lot of value out of today's call. So thank you very much. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you in the next interview. Peace.